Hey guys, welcome in. I've been meaning to do a lot of more videos recently. Have been struggling with time. And now update 8.0 was here. This update was pushed out, saying that it sounded like they were pretty much going to change the game. It went from real-time strategy to now a turn-based. Went from 3 characters to 5 characters, and there's been a lot of things changed. So let's just jump in here quickly. So turn-based, larger team size, combat effects. So they've changed like pretty much because of the change in the way the game is played. They've had to change all the characters too. High definition backgrounds have added, new spells, updated the interface. Detailed character stats, so they've changed the stats and bugs and things like that. So there's a lot to go over with this, and with this, it says PvP remains synchronous, giving each player time to execute the actions. We'll go over like you've got like pretty much a bar that goes down. You got like 60 seconds to play, but switching between players, it's quite uneven the amount of attacks that you can get off, and it does depend on. At the moment, it depends a whole lot on player speed. So, it's not. Granted, it is just a new change, yes. But with this new update, it's a complete different game. It's no longer the same game. The reason why a lot of people were here for this game was that it was unique in its real-time gameplay. And that was one of the best things about it. The real-time gameplay strategy was fun. You can make different combos. You can do all this kind of stuff. And now they've taken that away. And now, yes, you can have a bigger team size, which would have been... I would have loved to see a bigger team size, but the same kind of gameplay would have been amazing if they wanted to go that way. But turn-based is kind of like, meh, it's just like Marvel Strike Force, Disney Heroes, like so many other games out there, Star Wars, whatever. Like there's a whole lot of turn-based games out, and it's just one of the many now. So combat effects, they've changed the way effects work because now it's not real time, it's turn-based, so it's all based on turns. Yeah, so now as you can see, 5 players, which is kind of good for team building, but it's just a complete different game. So a lot of players are a bit sad about this, just because we were here for this game because we like the game, and now it's a different game. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad to see the games change so much. So even little things like rewards have changed. Now it's nice that they've given more gold. It used to be minimum 22 to like 150 or something like that. So it's nice now that for the high end rewards have been increased a little bit. And I am talking just a little bit. It's not like they've been increased a lot. So that is what it is. Changes of exchanges. The exchanges changed, and now it's once a day, and because it's once a day, it's now bulk. So you see your options in bulk amounts. It's like buy 6 of this, where it used to be buy 1 or buy 2, but it'll refresh 3 times a day, and that's the same for all the different types. But also the costs of them have gone up a lot. Nearly 500,000 for 40 strange fibers. They used to be 250 for 1, 5,000 for 2. I mean 250 is 2,500. So the costs seem to be way up. As well as it now costs way more to get more gear. So it used to cost like 5 of a certain like item, to make one piece for the gear. Now it takes 15 of that item to make one piece, and then you need like 3. You used to need 3 of those pieces to make one of the pieces to make another, so you needed like 45 to do it. Now you're going to need like, I think it's hundreds just to do that, and they cost more, and they're harder to get. They're not all in all the modes like they used to be. So that's, I mean, I understand why they want to do it. Like if people found they were gearing up too fast, which I found, we went from having them, they were pretty easy to get right at the very start of the beta, to went for a big change where they made it the way it has been, which means that they increased the costs and made it harder to get some of the full items, which people were like, oh, how could you do this? But then we found that, you know, we could upgrade maybe one character if we played a lot and worked hard. We could get maybe one character upgraded a week. And you know what, that one a week isn't too bad. We used to be able to do a couple, so it's all been slimmed down, but this is going to be like one a month, if that, at the current rate, although we haven't seen if they're going to increase rewards on events, which I think would be needed if for these increases, because the amounts are just so high. We're currently getting like a few thousand points a day, yet all the amounts are like massive, which could encourage people just to save up for things, but that's a lot. That is a lot. So yeah, this is interesting, the changes made. So as you can see, I purchased the strange fibers and the heart extracts just because I found that they were the best price for how much they were, being 2,000, which is still similar to the old value. So I was like, that's okay, I don't mind purchasing that. As well as a tower, and same thing with tower, similar to what they were originally priced at, the old rate. So that hasn't changed too much, although they have removed the Grand Arena coins. You can't spend them here at all. They're only available for like a character boosters in shops, which is a shame. So I can see that being good for new players, but it was kind of nice how you had more options before, whereas now they're taking options away. So that's a shame. And everything else has been increased except for the token exchange, where they've kept it the same. And I can see why they've kept it the same, but I don't know. It is what that is. Like, they've made the changes, that's all. The shop, they've added a whole lot more options in here again, which I think is fine. They are here to sell things. So this is the only way you can use your things now, and then you can only get 2 to 3 tokens per 7,000 gems, which is a shame. That's your only options now, which is going to be okay for good players, but for anyone else. All the other items are the same, and as well as the gifting. So that is those modes. Now, I noticed that they added things like all these new animations. So they're adding more little like flashy animations. Like the theory behind things like this is you make things look good so people feel good while they're doing things. They feel rewarded when they're collecting things. But is that all we're gonna get from this? It kind of feels a bit stink. And then we've actually got less rewards. So things like this, you get 1 gem now from watch an ad. What is 1 gem going to do when the costs have been increased so much? They've taken the gems away from the club rewards. So now for these daily club rewards, if your clubs were maxing out things, you'd usually get gem rewards here. For each one that you can get, and maximum, if you max everything out today, you can get 60 gems a day, which I thought was quite good, and honestly that was quite generous. That was generous, but now they're just taking everything away. And is their right to? It is a bit of a shame though, and I understand it is a premium currency, but it is a shame that it's all gone. And it was a cool, there was it was a good reason to go in and help the club and push for things. And we used to do that together as a club. And say, okay, we're short on this. Let's all get together. Let's work at it. Let's do it. Now, who cares really if you're missing out on like a few hundred club coins, and that's all you're missing out on. So that's another just a little bit of a shame. Things like the Tower of Endurance now. So they've changed the way all this works, and now this is the way you get spells. And it is kind of sad, to be honest. So this is how the new battle modes look, and there's no more dynamic movement on the field like there used to be. So this is all like the angles and things that they said. And while this is kind of like, oh wow, that does look kind of cool, and I can see like when I was younger, and I know my friends when they were younger, they're like, whoa, look at this. But you get to the stage where camera moves movement, when you've gotten to playing a certain game, when you've seen the same thing over and over, that's not so fantastical or special anymore. So I think that is kind of like yes, on a finishing shot, I think that'll be cool, and I do like those kind of things on finishing shots, but is it really that necessary? Yeah, I think it's kind of a little bit, yes, I can see why it does look kind of cool, but I would prefer to be able to control the field and to do things, whereas now, so if I was to stop this auto, so let's just check the auto one times. So you can now, you can look at other characters. He's taunting, so I can target him. So, and then it's turn based, and it's based on your speed stat. So these little yellow bars underneath the character shows when they're ready to go. And if you have a whole bunch ready to go, you can go and go and go and go and go. So I'm just gonna go attack him because he's only got one hit left. So boom, him. And now, oh look, Horn King's one is filled up. So things like that is just like, you can keep going and going, and now Pocahontas is full, so she can go. And I see how you can create strategies around that, but it's not as strategic as it used to be. And as long as you're smart about the enemies that you're picking off and things like that, and when you choose to use things, I think it's a whole lot simpler. And it's a whole lot less detailed, I'm finding. So yeah, for me, that's a shame. Yeah. So that's, as far as in gameplay, that's kind of what I feel about that. I'm not gonna sit here and just do all of these tower modes, but let's have a quick little look at, so the new Grand Champions. They've changed like completely how this works, and they've added new characters, which is like, for people who haven't got all these max, it will be kind of nice for them. They can go and like get all these ones, and it's interesting that they've put Darkwing in here, since he used to be one of the exclusives and the whole reason to have an exclusive 7-day trial, and now he's just in there. So it's kind of like, why? But in saying that, I've maxed most, they've taken out all the other runes from in here, so you can't just farm runes, which is a shame. Which I can understand if you want to get them from certain ways, but I think it's maybe just story mode. There's one or two ones in story mode that have them, and the way they've done it now is that you get, if you get anything chance for a token, you're gonna be getting less coins. So, or if you want more coins, you go for these other ones and get more coins to then buy packs. So I can see what they're going for. So if you want to choose the one that you want only, you're gonna get less reward. I think that's a wise choice, but it's a bit disappointing to see that there's a whole lot less option for that. It's gonna be good for new players, to choose what that's the go one way or go, or a lot more chance to get more characters. But in saying that, like the story modes seem to have like the same characters, so it's like you can get farm gesto, farm gesto, farm gesto, and all of these things, all the extracts, all the good ones are now taken out of all the hard modes. And there's only a few ones that you can get beta rooms, so you're going to have to probably strategize of which ones you want. And then if you want to get these ones, which are the most important ones, you actually have to not go for the good gold rewards, because the gold rewards have been increased as well. So you do get more gold, which is kind of nice. So you're either choosing gold, or do I want the important mats now that you need like triple the amount of them. So that's how all those story modes are going. And then last of all, the PvP system. So PvP, player versus player. There's probably a little bit more depth to team building, since you get more characters, there's more different things you can do. But in saying that, and there might be depth to team building, there is still... So this is the timer, like up in near that corner, there was a timer of what you can choose. It's a little bit lackluster, I must say. I'm going to go for Genie first. So, there we go. I think I've got mine or his. I'm going to drop that. Drop a slow on him. So now this is what I'm saying. Like, it's all about how fast you can do something now. How fast you can do something. And then it's going to be... It's going to also be... See, and like, I can just keep doing this over and over and over. Like, it's a little bit crazy, to be honest. And you can go wipe someone's team before they even had a chance to respond. And it's all just about like that haste, and that's crazy. I mean, to go through, he gets one... How is this turn-based? Like, you can strategically do it to fill up all your speed bars, and then the opponents don't get a say, because you're faster than them, you fill up, you have attack faster. It's not turn-based. So I can see that as a strategy, but I don't think that's a fair strategy or a fun strategy. I think I would have preferred to choose, you get to choose one move, your opponent gets to choose one move, and then maybe attacks or auto or like something like that. I'm not sure how it will work, but I don't think this current state is enjoyable or fair. And I like that before you had precision, you could like drag around and choose the areas of it. And now in AoE it just damages all, so it's either you damage all or you damage one or two. There's nothing else. So I think that is a shame. Yeah, a big shame. So hey, what else can you do? I don't know what else you can do now. I'm gonna go see like this. Before, you used to be able to choose. You used to be able to choose things like who you want to attack where, and now it's just, you just click on who you want and attack. Whereas before you had to target things and choose your directions, and then there was a little bit more layers to the defenses. Whereas now that seems to all just be gone. There's no more layering to defenses unless someone like a defensive character taunts, then you can only target them. There's no real point to have a defense character. Which is it's kind of sad, like before your defenses were your front lines, you couldn't get to the back to them besides abilities. And yeah, it's a little bit less fair, I'd say. And see, now go in, slow them all. I only choose him to explode because I think it splashes out to Ariel. There we go. Let's get both of them. And then I want to choose this guy to heal myself up. And like as long as you're making good choices, like you can just dominate your opponents and be faster than them. I've got haste, he's got slow. I'm moving faster than him. I'm filling up. I'm attacking more than him. It's not really fair. And as far as strategy goes, yes, I've got a strategy, and mine is proving to be better, but I don't think it's a fair strategy or a fun strategy. So we'll see what happens. I know this is day one of the new update release, so we've got to give it time for the devs to adjust. But I think it used to be such a unique game. It used to be so unique, and now it has just become a bit of a stock standard. Is now a turn-based game. So who knows? Kaboom! There we go. He uses his haste. He gets an attack and another attack. And this is what I mean about it all being about speed. And now, like, it's whoever can get off haste first and whoever can get off slow first wins. Which is just a little bit crazy. And I don't know why sometimes the computer just does it for you. I'm just gonna get Demona. Oh no, don't evade. Just get Demona out just because I can. And then now I want to target other characters and just slowly just knock them all out. And like, I mean, like things like AoEs, you have to target and choose areas. Now it just everything affects everyone. I don't find that as fun. Yeah. And having it like turn-based, but it's not really taking turns. I think that's just a little bit ridiculous. Sleep is, I suppose sleep is another good choice to do the ones around it. To have, so it's just how to control. This is now just about controlling your turns. That's all it is. It's just about controlling your turns and who gets to attack and who doesn't and things like that. And now let's slow him down some more. And then I'll purge him actually. Do you get to choose which one you want? I'm not sure. Yeah, I didn't know how that new mode worked. I knew, yeah. But, wow. As far as strategy goes, I don't find this as enjoyable. And I don't find it as fair the way that it's based on speed. And just being able to dominate it just like that. And yes, there is going to be, once people figure out what to do, it's going to change things a whole lot, but it's not as enjoyable as a real-time, both attacking at the same time. You got to react. There's a whole lot more reacting, choosing good things to do, and reacting and playing versus someone, whereas now it's just kind of like, go fast. Be faster, and be faster and better than someone is what it used to be. And there we go. So now I've got my hastes and I've got my slows. So he slowed me, which is gonna like stop that out a bit for my front row anyway. So Kronk should be grabbing his turn soon. So if I go speed, assist, I've still got Kronk's having his turn soon. I'm gonna slow them. and now then we're all going to be in the same kind of boats. I'm just going to get rid of Aladdin just because I can. And it's just like, hey, choose who's got low health. And it's not like your defensive characters are actually defending unless you can pull off one of their taunts. Like this. So this is what you'll do. Choose someone like this. Now he taunts and now he can only choose me. I find that it's less so strategic and as enjoyable. There are a lot of changes to characters which I can end up going over and doing more videos on if you guys are interested, as well as spells, as well as a lot of others. But see, like, just continually going and hasting and slowing and then it's over. And that's all you're doing consistently. So as a game, it's a whole new game. It is no longer the same game anymore, which is disappointing for a lot of players, people who played this because it was a different, unique game. Then that is a disappointment. For people who do like those types of games like Strike Force and Heroes, like, and all that. If you're already playing that, you might as well keep playing that. If you want Disney, then I suppose that's a reason to come here. But other than that, there's no real reason. So let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear you guys' feedback. We've got to find a way. Let's talk to the devs. Let's let them know our feelings. Because I used to go be from absolutely loving this game, finding strategies, finding ways to play things, and I used to love that. And now it's just another one of those turn-based games. So let me know how you guys think, and I'll probably be back doing, just looking over, I'll do a character at a time or something like that, and you'll just see how things have changed, who they work with, spells, all that kind of stuff. If you guys want to see that, let me know down below. I'd love to hear from you guys, so see you soon.